Andy Leonard singled and scored a run in the second inning. Grounded out to third base in the fourth. A light breeze here in College Station, but it's going to take a lot more than that to make it feel like you're not inside of a dryer.
Good Texas heat.
We've been in the 90s as far as our temperature throughout this weekend. Leonard steps back in from the right side, looks out at Joseph, ground ball, third base, pounds, makes the play. 2 down.
Let's see right here. In on the hands, pulls it, pounds at third base. Good strong throw to the first base, 2 away.
Ganek tripled and then got a couple RBIs in the second. Got Illinois Chicago right back into this ball game. Flew out to right in the fourth. Nobody is aboard with 2 outs in the sixth. 9 hits for Houston, 6 for Illinois Chicago. The Cougars have not committed an error. UIC has 3 E's on the day. They all came in the top of the 6th inning, and it helped Houston add a couple of more runs to the board. It turned a 1-run game into what we have now, a 9-6 contest.
Here, Ganek, the 9-hole batter, ahead in the count, 3-0. Joseph, a fastball right through the heart of the plate. Strike 1.
Top of the order is next for Illinois Chicago. Walked him. And a runner's aboard.
Mentioned Joseph controlled difficulties, 29 walks in 53 in the third innings. Not what you would like to see, but also has recorded 38 strikeouts in those 53 innings of work.
McQuiggan has a base hit today. He's come to the plate 3 times. He's 1 for 1. A single, a sacrifice fly that got him an RBI, and a walk. Grounded right at Kelso. The play is at first base, and no runs for UIC in the 6th. We're going to the 7th. 9-6. Cougars lead. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
There are 380,000 NCAA student athletes. And most of us will go pro
in something other than sports.
In something other than sports. To learn more, go to ncaa.org.
Maybe you got a little crazy while sawing Varsity's horns off, or your gig'em got out of hand. Either way, if your whoop turns into whoops, our skilled doctors and nurses, many of whom are Aggie grads, are all here to serve you. As the oldest hospital in the Brazos Valley, we've been caring for Aggies for over 75 years, so we know about traditions. The next time you need us, we'll be here, and you'll see what all the hullabaloo is about. The College Station Medical Center.
Gig'em. Thanks.
Healthcare. It's what we do.
in the Crash Lane premieres next month exclusively on Speed.
You're looking at the new pitcher for the Illinois Chicago Flames, a left-hander, number 24, Don Phillips. Houston leads the Flames 9-6 as we go to the 7th inning. AC, the numbers on Phillips.
That is actually Phyllis here.
Phyllis,
yes, not a problem. This is his 26th appearance. Only 3 starts, 6-1 record, 5.60 ERA, 3 saves on the year, 54 2/3 innings worked, 19 walks and 41 Ks. Opponents hitting .305 against the left-hander. Phyllis here, sophomore from Streator, Illinois.
Jimmy Cesario is the first man he'll face. Cesario 1 for 3 today, 7 for 12 in the regional.
First pitch strike.
So here's the 0-1. Check swing, but he went around, it looked like. Wanted that one back. No balls, 2 strikes.
Just a piece of the aluminum on the fist.
Well, Illinois Chicago started the day with Grant Kolstad. He threw 2 innings and allowed 6 runs. Derek Miramontes had a pretty good outing, and he was in relief of him. Miramontes goes 4 innings, allows 3 runs, but I believe only one of those was earned. Some errors hurt his cause in the 6th.
That is correct. Of the 3 runs, only 1 earned. That was the solo home run in the 4th inning by Wallace.
Now it's on to Don Phillips. The 0-2 pitch to Cesario, lifted to left. Coming in, Jake Carr. Camped out, and he has it.
Left on left matchup. Breaking pitch out away from the left-hander Cesario, lifts it out to left field, and is a can of corn with a high sky.
Ryan Lorman singled his first time up and has grounded out twice since. Having a nice regional, he's 6 for 12 this weekend. This is the guy, when he gets on base, look out. 29 stolen bases in 32 attempts. Houston, a team that likes to run a lot. Haven't seen much of it today. Skied this one foul. Don't know if they'll have room. They're taking a look at it. Caught and into the dugout by Jason Ganek.
Good job of staying with that high pop-up. The ball gets above the stands here, and the breeze blows it back towards the field of play. Good job of third baseman Ganek communicating to the catcher, Coddington, so that it's not a collision, but just a step away from the actual dugout. And Ganek retires Lorman with the 2nd out of the inning.
Now he'll face Zach Presley. It's inside.
Mixing his pitches with that breaking pitch and fastball.
Two and 0. As far as Illinois Chicago trying to make a comeback, and the next inning would look to be important because they've got 2, 3, 4 coming up, the heart of the order. If you can't make anything happen there, you threaten going into the late innings with the bottom of the order trying to get you back into it.
And always the case, even if you can't get all 3 back, you like to chip away just to the momentum right now is riding more in the first base dugout with the Houston Cougars. extending that 1-run lead to a 3-run lead with 2 unearned runs there in the 6th.
Mistakes is something we've talked about. They're so key, and both of these teams took advantage of mistakes to win their game that they were victorious in this regional. And right now, 3 errors in the 6th by Illinois Chicago loom large.
Good fastball for a strike.
Phyllis trying to work back in the count. He was 3-0 against Zach Presley, now full.
Count. See what he serves up here, whether he goes with the good live fastball or a breaking pitch that we've seen with the full counts.
Did get a ground ball at the shortstop, Rafael Garcia, and the Cougars get nothing in the 7th. We go to the bottom half. Time for the 7th inning stretch, and it's 9-6. U of H in the lead. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
Hey, you're gonna love this new computer. The processor's like 3 gigawatts.
Gigahertz.
And it's got a magical drive.
Optical drive.
2 gigs a sheet.
RAM?
All I know is this baby is screaming fast.
Maybe it needs more sheep.
Your computer's only as fast as the network it's connected to. Step up to Verizon high-speed internet for speeds up to 50 times faster than dial-up, plus the reliability of the Verizon network. Verizon, it's the network.
Now, all chicken sandwiches are not created equal. Oh, there's plenty of good ones around, don't get me wrong. But when you add honey mustard sauce, cheese, and bacon to a Whata chicken, you get the new honey mustard Whata chicken sandwich. Now, if that don't put the zip in your doodah, I don't know what will.
What a burger!
Just like you like it.
No matter which road you choose, the Dodge Lifetime Powertrain Warranty has you covered. It's the best warranty in the business, and it comes standard on nearly all Dodge vehicles. No other company matches it. Not Ford, not Chevy, nobody. Dodge. Grab life.
Nine to 6, Houston, bottom of the 7th. Crucial inning for Illinois Chicago. They've got 2, 3, and 4 coming up. Ty Rubio, Jake Carr, and Brett Schaefer. It is that trio that did so well for them yesterday in getting a win against 2-seeded Dallas Baptist. Rubio to the plate to get it going. And we told you earlier that this regional is paired with the one down in Houston. The winner of the College Station bracket will play the winner of the Houston tournament in the Super Regionals. Elimination game going on down at Reckling Park, hosted by Rice. It's the 3-seed St. John's 1 and the 2-seed Texas nothing in the bottom of the 3rd. Winner plays Rice tonight. Rice needs just one more win to close that one out. Same situation Texas A&M is in here. Aggies get the winner of this one between the Cougs and Flames.
Texas A&M had seen St. John's in the in-season tournament here at Olson Field before. Pretty solid ball club from the Big East.
1-2 to Rubio. Struck him out. Danny Joseph, a big pitch.
Nice breaking pitch by Joseph. Just froze the batter, Rubio. One away is strikeout looking.
So now it's Carr, then Schaefer. Carr drove in a run the last time he came to the plate in the 5th inning. And Donnie Joseph is starting to pump strikes. Pounding the zone. 0-1. Swing and a miss.
Nice breaking pitch right there. Swung over the top of it. See, when the pitcher gets in a groove, he grabs the ball, he's on the mound, rubber, he's ready to go.
However, Carr, perhaps in a little chess match, takes his time, wants to disrupt that rhythm. 0-2, foul ball, stays alive. This game was 6-5 in favor of Houston after 2 innings. Pitching has settled in a bit for both teams. And we've cruised to a 9-6 contest, what we've got right now.
Joseph's last decision came against East Carolina in the conference tournament in relief, 10-inning affair. Cougars won 5-4 in 10 innings. Joseph picked up the victory.
And you're not sure whether or not Houston had to win that conference tournament to get into the NCAA field. Kind of on the bubble. And they headed down to New Orleans for the CUSA bracket. Base hit by Carr. A runner is aboard in the 7th.
Like those approaches, shortening up, 2 strikes, just go back up the middle of the field, base hit center field. Not trying to do too much. You know, that's just part of your at-bat. If you have a 0-0 count or if you're ahead in the count, you can look for a pitch you want to really drive. But a lot of times when you wind up with 2 strikes on you, you better shorten up, protect, just try to put that ball in play. And that is what Carr did successfully at that at-bat.
Schaefer, foul ball. Schaefer's the one they've looked to all year to get it done offensively. He's 1 for 3 today with an RBI. They could sure use him on base here in the bottom of the 7th with the Flames trailing by 3. This is an elimination game. We'll check on the runner.
Left-handed move there by Joseph. A lot of times a left-hander is not going, with his front foot is not going to cross the rubber. He's just going to pick it straight up and make his decision whether he's going to pick or throw it first. You'll see very seldom cross that runner, but a wild pitch.
Let me say that hit Schaefer. Yeah,
yes,
he'll take his base. 2 runners aboard now. Schaefer hit by the pitch. Jake Carr moves to second.
Breaking pitch, and Schaefer just stood there, took it off the toes, and trots down to first base. Meanwhile, we get more activity in the Cougar bullpen. I believe that's right-hander Chris Wright getting loose. Don't know if there'll be a move here because Wright has been up once before, but just getting some more tosses down in the bullpen.
Well, you know, it's an elimination game when everybody wants to talk about it. We're in the bottom of the 7th. It's getting late. It's a 3-run game. There's the action in the bullpen, but even the base runners for UIC came over toward their dugout. They're discussing everything. They don't want any mistakes on the base paths. Middle infield and the catcher and pitching coach are all meeting for Houston.
The offense there and the defense on the mound. Kind of like your 30-second timeout in the game of basketball here.
Illinois, Chicago, 35-21 this year, regular season and tournament champions of the Horizon League. Houston is 40-23. They are the Conference USA tournament champs. Both have come to College Station and gone 1-1. Both beat Dallas Baptist. Both lost to Texas A&M. Somebody's season will end this afternoon, and we are still very much in doubt on who that will be. Whoever's season does not end faces the homestanding Texas A&M Aggies tonight at 6:30 here on FSN. Runners at first and second. It's Carr at second, Schaefer at first, Coddington at the plate. Today, the Flame catcher has singled, struck out, and walked. 1 for 2. First offering from Donnie Joseph. Low for a ball.
Mentioned the control troubles for Joseph throughout the course of the season. And one of the reasons Wright is already up, even with the 3-run lead, you just don't want to put the tying run on base by courtesy of base on balls. Good breaking pitch.
For a strike.
Yes. Good breaking pitch. Took a little bit off of it. Didn't hang it. Kept it down low in the zone on the outer half of the plate. Not holding the runner on at first. First baseman playing behind the runner at first. Pretty good lead at second base.
1-1 on its way, fouled it off.
Big battle right here, and
you can start to feel a little more pressure with each pitch.
I'd like
get into these late innings.
Late innings and season, whether your season ends or is extended.
Your reward is you got to go through it all again tonight.
That's right.
If you're the victor.
But they will gladly take that over the alternative.
Absolutely. Wheeled around to give a look at Carr. Nothing going on.
Back in '95, Texas A&M lost the opening round game. That was back with the 6-team regional. Staving off elimination to force 2 championship games.
Against the Miami Hurricanes.
Right, that's right. But for
came back and won the entire regional.
Now that the pitching coach for the Hurricanes, J.D. Ortega, was a left-handed pitcher that actually won that second championship game back in the day.
A 2-2 count here to Coddington with a couple of his teammates aboard.
Time called at the plate. Coddington not quite comfortable. Home plate umpire Jay Asher granting time when it was requested.
Now we're ready with the 2-2. Hit hard. One hop, though, at the second baseman. They cannot turn the double play, and with the errant throw, a run will score. And the Flames get within a couple of runs.
Sharply hit ground ball to the second baseman. Nice pivot there, shortstop, but he dropped down a little sidearm and that ball sailed on him. First baseman Cesario able to get a glove on it, but not able to pull it in, and as it went away from Cesario, it allowed base runner Carr to come on in with a run here in the 7th inning, and mentioned just chipping away as best you can.
It's the first error of the day for Houston.
That run will be unearned.
Rafael Garcia. Can he continue to work Kevin Coddington around the base paths? Get the Flames even closer. The 0-1 swing.
Good strong fastball there by Joseph.
The Flames were a 4 seed in this bracket, and they fought all the way till today, and they're still in the ball game. They were a 4 seed that defeated a 1 seed in the opening round last year. That happened 4 times this year when a 4 seed beat a 1 seed. Stanford, Long Beach State, Florida State, and Georgia this year all were victimized by 4 seeds to start the tournament. That's lifted into center. It'll be caught by Zach Presley. And Illinois Chicago settles for 1 run in the 7th. And Houston still leads it 9-7. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
Start your weekend in the great outdoors with the Academy Outdoors Show this Saturday morning. Host Chad Brower brings you a multitude of exciting outdoor adventures from throughout the region. You won't want to miss a single minute of this award-winning show for the whole family to enjoy, featuring a variety of live-action hunting, fishing, and outdoor adventure trips each week. Right here, Saturday mornings at 8:30 on FSN Southwest.
Tonight on The Final Score, presented by DirecTV. Ken Griffey Jr. looks to join the elite ranks of the 600 home run club as Junior's Reds host the Atlanta Braves. Plus, the surging Chicago Cubs try to make it 7 straight wins. They take on the defending National League champs at Wrigley Field. And a pair of division leaders square off at Tropicana Field. The White Sox visit the Rays. For all the day's highlights in 30 minutes, keep it right here. It's The Final Score.
Sunday, Stonehenge. We know much about how it was built and when, but what we don't know has launched the largest archaeological investigation of modern times, uncovering what may be the lost city of Stonehenge's builders. With a grand avenue, ancient tools, and hundreds of prehistoric homes, there have always been theories, but never any answers. Maybe we just weren't looking in the right place. Stonehenge Decoded, Sunday on Nat Geo.
New pitcher for Illinois Chicago. It is a right-hander, Adam Worthington, and he wants to keep this deficit that the Flames are in to just 2 runs. Still 6 more outs to work with for Illinois Chicago. And AC, you have the numbers on our new right-hander.
Worthington, really the bullpen closer. This is his 31st appearance, all out of the pen. 2-3 record, 3.32 ERA. 5 saves, 43 1/3 innings, only 14 walks and 37 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .242 against the right-hander from Gurnee, Illinois, the junior right-hander.
He'll go against Tully, Wallace, and Ramsey this inning, 7, 8, and 9, the bottom of the order for the Cougars. Tully started the day pitching for Houston. Got stronger as his outing went on. He has since been lifted and now is the DH. And he looks at a strike to start off.
A lot of times relievers, hard throwers that may have either a change or a slider. Good velocity there. Another fastball in on the hands, strike 2.
Tully worked into the 5th. Left with the Cougars up at the time 7-6. He's hit one into center field, but McGuigan has a bead on him.
Tully would not be in order for the victory, having only gone 4 1/3 innings. Got to go 5 complete. NCAA. Joseph would be the pitcher record for the Cougars at this point. And the starter for University of Illinois Chicago, Kolstad, is on the hook at this point in time.
That's Chris Wallace. A couple of sacrifice bunts around a solo home run in the 4th. That's Wallace's day. That was his first home run of the season. He hit this one hard back up the middle, and he is a 1-out base runner for U of H.
Just a good piece of hitting there by Wallace. Going back up the gut. Like the pitch was in on his hands. Actually just right over the plate, and he just drives it right back up the middle.
Wallace has had a nice day. 4 very quality at-bats, 2 sack bunts that were successful, a home run and a single. The kind of day a coach appreciates. Caleb Ramsey drove in a run on his last plate appearance. Back to the top of the Cougar lineup after Ramsey.
Breaking pitch there, down low in the zone.
So if it's Houston facing Texas A&M tonight, they're going to have to try to come back from that 22-4 clubbing they took last night. The Aggies hitting 6 home runs in the game and put up a 12 spot in the 7th inning. Now, part of that 7th was due to Cougar errors, but nonetheless leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Staving off elimination, certainly a good way to get back on the right track. Houston is 6 outs away from doing that as they hold a 2-run advantage. Ground ball. Charging and making the play on the run is Andy Leonard. Moving to second base is Chris Wallace. Runner in scoring position, but there are 2 down in the top of number 8.
Rainer Noble starting to runner at first base. Wallace. No chance to get Wallace at second, so good move there by Leonard to make the play at second base, toss it to first. But the Cougars have a runner in scoring position with 2 away in the top of the order, Blake Kelso.
10 hits today for Houston, 7 for Illinois Chicago. Kelso is 1 for 4 as he hits right now. 2 strikeouts, a single, and he's reached off of an error.
Ball low and away. Catcher tried to frame it a little bit. Coddington.
It's 2 balls and no strikes. Nice block by the catcher, Coddington. As it goes to 3-0. Pumped a strike in to keep him from getting on base momentarily. Well, with these 2 teams having already lost a game, one of them is going to have to beat Texas A&M twice and really go deep into that pitching staff. Texas A&M tonight will likely start Clayton Ellert, who is a part of their normal weekend rotation.
Fastball inside corner. Kelso thinking it might have missed inside, but home plate umpire Jay Asher says no, strike 2, and the count is full. Wallace getting extended lead out there at second base.
Worthington trying to end the inning right here. He fisted Kelso.
Heads up downstairs.
Got it into foul territory.
Caromed off a couple of seats here in the upper deck and down on the lower deck. Souvenir for some fan.
Gonna be heads up when you come to the park. And the full count pitch again. Grounded. Over to it is Leonard. That's the inning. We're going to the bottom of the 8th with the Cougars ahead 9-7. This is 12th Man Productions broadcast of the College Station Baseball Regional right here on Fox Sports Net.
Come in. Looks like the med school scouts are out early today.
There are over 380,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of them will be going pro in something other than sports. To learn more, go to ncaa.org.
There's a moment at night when all you want is fourth meal. Melty, crunchy, spicy, and grilled.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Thursday, America, you have spoken. And we put it on the air. It's Best Damn's Top 50 Fan Bloopers. And Friday, special guest host, Super Bowl champion Michael Strahan. Has the Stray Train finally pulled into the station for good, or will he be back to defend his Super Bowl crown? This week at 11.
You're looking at Chris Wright. He is the third pitcher of the day to take the mound for the University of Houston Cougars. He's trying to hang on to that 2-run lead U of H has, and they're trying to get to a game tonight against Texas A&M. AC, your line on Chris Wright.
Junior right-hander from the city of Houston, 28th appearance, has made one start, has a 1-0 record, 4.11 ERA, 2 saves on the year, 46 innings of work, only 14 walks, 44 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting .294 against him. And looking at his numbers, his last outing against Southern Miss went 2 1/3 innings. Marshall was his last outing, 2/3 of an inning, allowed 3 hits, but did not allow a run.
All right. Works to Schweikert to start the bottom of the 8th. As we've told you throughout the day, the winner of the College Station Regional plays the champion out of the Houston bracket in the Supers next weekend. Elimination game going on down there. St. John's leads Texas 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. And St. John's beat the Longhorns 2-1 to open that regional back on Friday. So the Red Storm trying to do it again against the Longhorns. Winner of that one plays Rice tonight and must beat the Owls twice. Now last year, Texas A&M, they won their regional here, and it was the exact same situation. They went down to Rice. That's the bracket they were paired with, and A&M played 2 very close games with the Owls, but fell in both, and it was Rice who went to Omaha. So again, one of these 3 teams that we see here today on FSN will play the winner of the Houston Regional next weekend for the right to go to the College World Series.
Texas A&M last year lost in the second round against University of Louisiana Lafayette. Had to come back and win 3 games in a row, and that's where that momentum came in. And
this game they were playing in last year.
Exactly. Survived to advance against Louisiana Lafayette.
Aggies were in the exact same situation as the Cougars and Flames are today, but they finished it off.
Finished it off, forced the second championship game, and Kyle Thiebaud went out through a complete game, got the win.
13 strikeouts that night.
Exactly.
We have not seen Kyle Thiebaud yet in this regional, but we feel that we would if the Aggies would need him to help close things out tonight.
There's no doubt that it can be done through the loser's bracket, but when you're in the driver's seat, you have a greater premium on your pitching staff. As you mentioned, Clayton Ellert scheduled to start tonight for Texas A&M.
Schweikert's just put one in the gap, left center. They're trying to get to it, can't do it. Off the wall, Schweikert has a double. Good start to the 8th inning for the Flames as they're 2 runs down.
Thought for a moment there that Presley was going to be able to catch up to it. Just goes opposite field, pitch out over the plate, but Presley, you see on the run, trying to make the backhand grab, just can't quite catch up to it. Good hustle there by the left fielder, Stewart. Get the ball back in to hold Schweikert to a double.
So Andy Leonard now. After Leonard, it's Jason Ganick, and then you go back to the top of the order for Illinois Chicago. Got a pinch runner inserted into the game.
Number 7, Tony Altavilla. Altavilla.
So he is in for Schweikert. Schweikert was the DH, so Altavilla at the moment occupies that spot. And here is Leonard with a key at bat. You know, and you talked about chipping away at these leads earlier. Well, they got one in the 7th. If you can at least get one here, even if it's only one, it's almost a world of difference mindset-wise when you go to your last at bat, just a rundown as opposed to multiple 2 or 3.
No doubt. If you're just a run down, you're bringing that tying run to the plate. If you happen to get somebody on, you're thinking of moving them in the scoring position. A good breaking pitch there to even the count by Wright.
1-1 count to Leonard, who is 1 for 3 today. The last 2 times up, he's grounded out to third base.
Wright works ahead in the count, 1-2. Good breaking pitch again. As the batter here, Leonard, now with 2 strikes, shorten up probably a little more on his bat handle, just trying to put the ball in play, preferably to the right side of the field to advance the runner to the third. But as a pitcher, Wright may try to work him on the inside part of that plate, force him to pull the ball to the left side to keep that runner at second. So really shorten up on that bat handle. Second basemen tend to do that. Leonard is.
We had a meeting on the mound a moment ago by the Cougars, and now Leonard wants more time. And we await the 1-2 pitch. Skied that into right. Shallow right. Making the catch coming on is Caleb Ramsey.
Shallow fly ball, not deep enough to advance the runner. Just reaches out, gets enough of it, just pops it out the right field, but Ramsey coming in with his momentum, with a good arm. Heads up play there to remain at second base by Altavilla.
As train number 2 is rattling the tracks and making noise, and soon going to join us here as our second one of the day. It's a kind of a tradition at Olsen Field. The trains will roll by. And the crowds just love them, especially when it's a Texas A&M game involved.
And looks like, oh my, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This one an A&M crowd would be going nuts for. That's 8 engines.
8.
A ninth. 9 of them.
9 engines.
If that were to happen tonight, you wouldn't hear anything down on the field.
I believe that may be an Olsen Field record.
Could be.
Good strikeout right here.
Jason Ganick swings and misses, so there are now 2 down, and after this lead double by Schweikert, Wright is settling in, and he hopes to strand him there. Top of the order, Steve McGuigan. A hit today. A fly out, a walk, and a ground out. The fly out was a sac fly to center back in the second, got him an RBI. He's also scored a run, actually 2 runs. Must be productive here.
Good breaking pitch for strike one.
One's a strike.
Another good location out away from the right-handed batter.
The 0-2 with Schweikert running out at second. Swinging foul ball right at the Houston bullpen. It's out of reach, unable to get to it.
Bullpen catcher gets out of the way. Right ahead of the count, 0-2. Has the full repertoire to decide what he wants to throw here.
Checks the runner at second base, now comes to the plate. That's outside.
Nice location, though. 0-2 pitch, breaking pitch. Started on the outer half of the plate, but broke out of the strike zone. Good patience there by the leadoff hitter by UIC to hold up.
And the 1-2, waved at it and missed. Wright comes back and strands the lead double at second. For UIC, it'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the ninth, but they got to go play defense first. Cougars lead at 9-7. You're watching 12th Man Productions broadcast of the 2008 College Station Baseball Regional on Fox Sports Net.
The Memorial Day sale at Ashley Furniture Home Store has been extended. Get more for your money. Now through Monday, get $100 in free furniture when you spend $600. Get $300 in free furniture when you spend $1,200. Or get $500 in free furniture when you spend $3,000. Plus, pay no interest till 2011. Everyone can use extra savings on furniture. Better hurry, though. This sale has been extended through Monday only. Ashley Furniture Home Store. You're gonna love this place.
Maybe you got a little crazy while sawing Varsity's horns off, or your gig'em got out of hand. Either way, if your whoop turns into whoops, our skilled doctors and nurses, many of whom are Aggie grads, are all here to serve you. As the oldest hospital in the Brazos Valley, we've been caring for Aggies for over 75 years, so we know about traditions. The next time you need us, we'll be here, and you'll see what all the hullabaloo is about. The College Station Medical Center.
Gig'em.
Healthcare. It's what we do.
Hey, you're gonna love this new computer. The processor's like 3 gigawatts.
Gigahertz.
And it's got a magical drive.
Optical drive.
2 gigs a sheet.
RAM?
All I know is this baby is screaming fast.
Maybe it needs more sheep.
Your computer's only as fast as the network it's connected to. Step up to Verizon high-speed internet for speeds up to 50 times faster than dial-up, plus the reliability of the Verizon network. Verizon, it's the network.
Let's go to the ninth. It is 9-7 Houston as they try to keep their season alive against the Illinois Chicago Flames. Houston try and get some insurance here in the top half of the ninth. And they'll try and go and close this one out. Got 2, 3, and 4 up for the Cougars. Jake Stewart, Brian Pounds, Jimmy Cesario. 2 hits today for Stewart. A 3-run homer by Pounds. A double by Cesario. Everybody due up in this inning has done some good things today for the Cougars.
First pitch strike. Good fastball inside part of the plate.
The 0-1, he reached out for it and fouled it off. Second deck, first base side.
Seeing good placement by the relief pitchers on both sides, moving the ball in and out, up and down. Batters can't get a read on them.
Both of these teams beaten badly by Texas A&M in this regional. One of them's going to have to go face the Aggies tonight. Ground ball, that got through, base hit. Jake Stewart is aboard as the lead man in the top of the ninth for the Cougars.
Brings up good strategy question. We'll see here on replay. Fastball inside part, he just turns on it, grounds it in the hole there between short and third. But now with a runner at first, no outs, your three-hole batter that already has a home run on the day, let him swing away, or you bunt him over to get him in scoring position.
Well, then there's
squaring around already.
Also with Jake Stewart, if it's an option, he is 24 out of 28 in stolen bases this year.
A lot of times you'll see a pitcher make that move over the first to see what the batter may try to do.
Aim inside to Pounds.
But when you do square around at the plate, you're wanting to bunt strikes. You do not want to bunt a ball and fastball up high and inside. Only thing you're going to do with that is probably pop it up. Good job there by Leonard.
Got that up the first base line, and they will wisely let it roll foul.
Leo Gertz, the groundskeeper here at Olson Field. The dirt kind of sloping away from the lines. Pounds returns to the plate.
Have to try it all over again. I'll ask you, AC, with one of these teams having to face A&M again, and the way they were beaten by the Aggies earlier, does it play into your mindset at all tonight for the victor here?
Well, I think it's that momentum that if whoever survives, if they can come out in that first or second inning and get some positive energy, then all of that gets erased. Then you're just playing that particular ball game. But on the other hand, if A&M happens to come out, we saw that last night, Colligan, the leadoff batter, in the top of the first inning, hitting a home run over the center field wall. That momentum went in the A&M dugout and never left.
A&M cruised from there. We do know that if U of H wins this game, they will be the home team tonight against A&M. If Illinois Chicago wins it, they're going to be the visitor tonight against the Aggies. Sometimes it can get confusing in these regionals. You know, watch an A&M team play on their home field, but they are the visitors. It's
started the runner there.
And that
foul
will
ball.
Twist foul by the time it lands. So we got a full count.
Imagine he would be off and running once again. Get a little more exercise. As the temperature on the scoreboard says 97 degrees. Luckily, we have a little shade here in our broadcast area.
It has been sweltering, to say the least, this weekend in College Station. They'll check on him. Stewart is back. Stewart, that base hit he got a moment ago was his third of the day. 3 singles, 2 RBIs. Average was .336 coming into the game. He'll see it rise. Back again, diving this time.
Good move by Worthington. Froze the runner. Dove in just ahead of the tag.
Will they offer up the 3-2 here to Pounds? No. One more time, a look at Jake Stewart.
3-2, no outs. Quick move there by Worthington, trying to keep him close.
One more time. 4 in a row. Over to Jake Stewart.
Houston fans.
Some of our sparse crowd doesn't like it too much. A lot of these Houston fans did make the trip about an hour and a half northwest to College Station. Swing and a miss, and now the throw down. He's safe. That's a strikeout, but a stolen base for Jake Stewart. And still down, I mean, slow to get up was Rafael Garcia, but he looks to be okay.
Breaking pitch, strikeout, low in the zone, makes it difficult for Coddington to come up throwing. Makes his throw down to the bag, but stolen base is successful.
25th of the year for Stewart in 29 attempts. Pitch out.
Intentional base on balls coming here, and a lot of times there's some conferences that do not make you intentionally walk a batter. In the old days, you could just put them on base, but so many times this could be entertaining. Pitchers sometimes let off on it. Yeah, playing catch, and they'll sail it over the catcher's head.
So they won't fool with Cesario, who's got 7 hits in this tournament already. They'll put him aboard. It creates a double play situation, and Ryan Lorman comes to the plate. He is 6 out of 13 in the regional. Although he is 0 for his last 3 today, that's after singling to start the game and getting an RBI back in the first.
Good strategy there by the Flames. Want to set up that double play ball, looking for a ground ball. Houston, on the other hand, looking for a ground ball to find a hole in the infield or a line drive in the gaps.
Swing and a miss by Lorman on a hard cut.
Good high fastball. Not able to catch up to it.
Houston has out-hit Illinois-Chicago 11-8. 1 error for the Cougars, 3 for the Flames. That's down the line, a base hit. It'll be extras, and 1 run is home, maybe another. They will hold the second runner at third base. It's a double and an RBI for Lormond. 7th hit this weekend.
Just turned on that fastball inside, right past the diving third baseman Gannick. A little insurance run, so important in the late innings. Infield will be in. Face Presley here.
Presley trying to add more.
And maybe intentional walk again.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly will be. That'll load him with 1 out. And Brian Tully will hit.
Catcher's been squatting back there, now standing up. You don't want to throw it too far away from him. His leg's a little tired. 4th ball coming up. There it is.
And here comes Tully to the plate. A walk, a strikeout, an error that he reached on, and a fly out. So 0 for 2 today for Tully, but he has reached base twice, and they are loaded with Cougars. Been a pretty close game throughout. But with only 3 outs left, Tully with a properly placed base hit could kind of blow this thing wide open.
Back at second base and shortstop, double play depth, and in at the corners.
This Pitch to him will miss, and there's nowhere to put the Cougar DH. He was their starting pitcher. Made his 3rd start of the year on the mound, but now occupies the DH spot. 1-0 on its way. Stayed high, and now you really got to feel if you're Tully, you're going to get a pitch to hit here. Worthington certainly does not want to go 3-0. Ground ball, backhanded. Play is at second, and they got him, but a run will score. It's 11-7.